Oh, my name is Jahziel Valentine, and I'm a scholar from El Puente. We're working on creating and finding out what's safe in our neighborhood in Williamsburg. Can you please state your name and your position in the community?
My name is Jahziel Lazala, and I am the program aide at El Puente to the Wife Leadership Center.
Cool. How would you define a safe neighborhood?
Well, a safe neighborhood, in my opinion, is a neighborhood that I don't feel scared to walk in at night by myself, which is Williamsburg. Actually, I've never, thankfully, ever felt threatened or nervous or scared walking anywhere in the neighborhood by myself. I've lived in the neighborhood pretty much my whole life, and I always feel really confident walking around at any time of the day. Also, a safe neighborhood would be a neighborhood where people don't feel like there's any prejudices or discrimination against them. So it would be people of all colors and races and sexual orientation. Nobody should feel like they can't hold hands with their significant other, or whether it's same sex or mixed couples or anything like that. That's what a safe neighborhood is for me.
I totally agree. What do you like about living in the South Side?
What do I like about living in the South Side? I really like everything about the South Side. I like the fact that it's easily accessible. I can move around to really any part of the city, not just Manhattan, but Queens is really close, other parts of Brooklyn are close. So that's one thing that's really important for me, being able to move around. And there's a lot of access to things around here. There's a lot of different trains, a lot of different buses, so I can move around really easily. I love the culture of the neighborhood. I feel like I'm at home. There's a lot of people that are in my same culture, but not just Dominican or Latino, but also culture, meaning my American culture that relates a lot of things that I like also. So it's really diverse, and it's really cool. I really like living in this neighborhood because there's always a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of parks, there's always a lot of events, a lot of cool shops. So I just really like living in Williamsburg. I don't think I ever want to move out of the neighborhood.
So you're always going to stay here?
I think so, yeah. I've been here 20 years already, and I think I want to stay here.
Oh, awesome. What don't you like about Williamsburg? Is there anything?
The one thing I don't like about Williamsburg, it's difficult because I like it and at the same time I don't like it, is the gentrification. Because I like the fact that there's a lot of new shops and independent entrepreneurs, people who are young like me that are starting these new businesses, and there's a lot of new art and culture that's coming into the neighborhood. But at the same time, some of these people don't come in with the mentality of wanting to be a part of this culture. They just want to kind of ignore it or erase it or just plow over it. And so I feel I'm for the new people coming in, as long as they understand that we have our own culture that has been here already, and that it cannot be ignored or erased. So that's my only qualms with the situation right now.
You're totally right. You should interview yourself since you're so good at this. How long have you been living in the South? You said 20 years,
I came here
right?
when I was 4 years old. So, and I'm going to be 24 now, so almost 20 years. Yeah.
Based on how many years living here, has the South Side changed when it comes to community safety?
Community safety? How has it changed in community safety? Well, because of the gentrification, there's more cops around now, which I guess would make it more safe. You know what I'm saying? The fact that there's more policing of the area. In the things that I've observed, I feel like there's less gang violence. When I was growing up in middle school and high school, there was a lot more gangs of young boys running around, and I find that there's less of that happening right now. But I'm not sure, because I don't know if now things are just more discreet, So I don't think that there's on the surface, it's not so obvious anymore, but I'm not sure if there's any less of it. It's just not as visible because of the gentrification and the policing that is in effect now.
I've heard that someone else said cops are more around now too. Have you seen any changes in the community in order to make it safer? What have you seen?
Well, the cops. The fact that there's more cops standing around or driving around, that's I think the only thing. How else do you make something safer? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
They don't, I don't know. This is...
You have mixed emotions on the cops.
I do. So we'll leave
Everyone does, yes. What makes you feel safe, unsafe in the South Side? Isn't that like the first question? I'm repeating questions.
What makes me feel safe or unsafe? Well, the cops is something that's kind of tricky because
they pick on
people.
people.
I feel like if...
Racial profiling?
Well, not for me because I look white, so I get profiled as white.
True.
So they don't really mess with me, but I tend to feel more uneasy when I see more cops around because I feel like the more cops there are around, the more likely there is to be some sort of crime or illegal activity. So I feel like sometimes the more cops you see, the more criminals pop up. Just because of the fact that there's more cops around. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. It's a really difficult question for me to answer. But ultimately, I feel safe in my community, and I'm happy about that.
That's good. I've been thinking about moving here myself. Bushwick is not cutting it. Describe how the South Side was when you first got here.
Well, there was a lot more community-oriented businesses. Like now you'll find a lot of like cool restaurants and like boutiques and shops and stuff like that. Before it was more like hardware stores, appliance stores, like stores that would fix electronics, more liquor stores. There was more like those cultural clubs, like the Puerto Rican clubs and stuff like that. It was more of those type of things, and now it's a lot more trendy shops and things. So that's one thing that has physically changed. The buildings there's a lot of new constructions and like developments, like real estate stuff, and so the buildings look like really new and trendy, high tech, and modern. So that's another difference. And like the parks and stuff were before more like rugged, like 80s type of parks, and now they're like, again, everything is just getting modernized, more futuristic.
And you think it's good?
I don't know. Again, I'm feeling torn because like I would rather live like in a brick brownstone building than in a modern high-tech new age building. That's my personal style. That's my aesthetic. Right? So at the same time that it's bringing like property levels up in the neighborhood, you're pushing out families who have been in this neighborhood for years. So it's like you're bringing down their price or whatever, like their worth, because they're getting pushed out. So at the same time that it's in one way like beautifying the neighborhood because you're bringing all of this new modern things, you're like trying to get rid of people and the things who have been here already, which are beautiful in their own right. So I don't know, I'm mixed. I'm very torn about this. This topic has me like, I don't know.
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. She has to let the kids in. What would you like to see in the South Side is the last question.
What would I like to see in the South Side?
Yeah,
I would like to see more public art in the neighborhood. Not just like, let's say, white artists that come in and do like these funky murals and stuff, and like these, weird artistic things, but more like cultural art, like the type of, like the murals that we have at Che, at 258 Grand Street, not 258, what is it, what's the address? But at Che, they have like stuff like that represent like us, our culture, the people who have been here.
We have a couple of murals.
Yeah, but I want to see more of that.
So would I. Beautiful.
So
murals.
that's the one thing that I would like to see more of in the neighborhood. Definitely more
art.
Art.
Art is always a good thing, but that's it.
Not just like murals and stuff, but like public art, meaning like outdoor sculptures, stuff like that. Like,
you're looking at a future sculptor. Like, so, it's gonna be you, right?
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. We need to get some funding.
Get some funding. Well, thank you for giving me the pleasure of interviewing you.
Well, thank you.
My boss. Well, bye.
Bye.